Hey everybody, my name is Dawn from DualGM and today I'm doing another tutorial, this time on a modular selection system. And let me just start right away before I talk too much. So I'm gonna start with just making a blueprints folder. And in that blueprints folder I'm gonna make a core folder. This is just for setting up the character. So we want it simple, character works. Share underscore base character, and then what I want is a game mode underscore main, and what I want is also a player controller. That's another character. We want also a player controller, which we're just gonna call PC underscore main, and I'm just gonna really quickly set everything up. So edit project settings, input, access mapping, move forward, exam, let's go move forward. I'm gonna also include just making the character because it's useful for a few people. W and S, which is all the way down here, and S will be -1, and exam underscore move right. So we have our A, which is left, and D will be -1, meaning right. The other way around, I'm sorry. So this will be -1. So let me just really quickly set up a character and then we can get fully into it. Let's get a spring arm. Get it set it to 90. Oh, and okay, let's add another spring arm because that just glitched out. So let's just try to get it just up here and add a camera. Then we need our axis movements. Add input, movement input. Then we want to just get right vector and get forward vector. Then we want to make, okay, we need to give me 1 second. We need to make a rotator. We want to get rotation, get actor rotation. There we go. Let's split this pen to this, and I think that's set. So we can now just really quickly set up the game mode with the pawn being here and the player controller being right here. And if we would click play, we should have. Oh, I also need to use the game mode. We have a working movable character. So what we're gonna now start is I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna call in-game, and I'm gonna call this an actor underscore selector. But for this I need to really quickly set something up here. Left mouse button. How do I want to do this? Okay, let's just get a vector and we call this vector1, selection vector 1, and duplicate that, selection vector 2. So get word position cursor. I don't know how the event is currently called. Oh wait, yeah, get player. I thought I moved that into the player controller, so let me just really quickly move that around. Let me just open the player controller and let me drink a sip. So in the player controller, we just move the stuff. We don't need to get hit sold under cursor by channel. And for that, we really quickly need to set up a channel, which we're just gonna call landscape. So let's just get, and add project settings. There we go. Then we want collision, object channels, landscape, and default response is ignore. And what we're gonna put on here is this landscape level. Not here. Oh, what am I doing? Set this to custom and enable landscape. So for example, now if we just really quickly print string out where we hit, and we break this okay, that's the wrong one. Get hit result under cursor by channel, not under. Get hit result under cursor by channel. There we go. That's what we want. Then let's split this and hit result location. I think that's a proper location, not the. There we go. Let's just check it out and see if it works. Yeah, this gives us our location. And what I really quickly wanna do, because otherwise it's gonna annoy me later on, event begin play and show mouse cursor to true. And then when we have this, we wanna set a variable, not a variable. How? We're gonna spawn actor. And we're gonna call this our A underscore selector. And we're gonna promote this to a variable, which is gonna be ref underscore selector. And then we wanna just plug this in. And then we want pretty much a loop going on right back here. And we want a new variable, so let me just move that stuff a bit over. Released. If it got released, then we wanna turn this true. And we wanna, for example, do something specific. So, no, wait, what? That's not what I wanted to do. I want to set released to true. And release is just gonna get unset later down here. So this is just gonna stop. Actually, let's just set it released up here. And let's go back to the actual actor we created. And we create a collision box. And now what we need to do is we pretty much need to get the center of our two selection points. So what's the best way to do this? Actually, let me Google that very quickly. And I will be right. Oh, no, mind. It's pretty simple. So what we want to do is we're gonna get. Okay, first of all, let's set up the loop. and promote this to a variable. So this is gonna be our selection vector 1. And then let's duplicate it and make this selection vector 2. And we set selection hit result location, there we go. And then we set a delay back here. And we set a branch right here. If release is false, let's keep looping. Oops. And now I want to really quickly do something here, which is, where is it? Line thickness to this and not hidden in game, so we can see where it is. What we want to do then is we want to get this actor here. And we want to set its word location. Set word location. Set actor location. There you go. And let's move this over. So what I'm gonna do is take vector 1 minus vector 2 divided by, oops, not that, divided by 2 and then plus this one. Let's hope this works, and let's select the right one, vector plus vector. There you go. And let's see if this works. Probably won't. Yeah, it goes the wrong direction. Let me look at this very quickly. If we switch this, it shouldn't work if we switch this around, right? Actually, yeah, it works. And now what we need to do is we need to figure out the length. So what we can do with this is can we just break this vector and then really quickly print string out those two variables, just so I can see if this is how we could do this. Otherwise I would need to look for something up very quickly. So what scale we need is the X and the Y, right? And the X and the Y. So let's just append this here. X and Y. Let's see if it scales properly. Let's hope this works, I guess. Custom event, update, scale, and input A, input B, can I, if I length will just, nah, okay, length will not, length will just, nah, that's not what I need. Also, let me set this to a lower number so it doesn't look as chunky. Then we want to call update scale. Input A and input B. And is less than 0, then we want to use a selector, and we want to set the box extend, set box extend, and we want to keep Z always to a specific size. So let's set Z to like 40, 20. What we now need to do is we need to check if it's less than 0. If it's false, we just plug it in, and otherwise -1. Not -1, divided by 1. Multiplied by -1. That's what I need. Float by float. -1. There we go. And then let's copy that. Take this. Take this. This. And you need to also split the struct. Set this back to 20. And let's hope this works. It probably will be too big. Actually, no, it's perfect. Not what I expected, but it works perfectly. But the issue now, it stays. So what we can do with this is we can go right into our... Actually, I didn't expect this to work, so that's good. We can go here now. And we can call... how did we call our... Okay, let's just make a test actor to see if we find what we want to. So let's say this is a_player, which will just have a cube in there and nothing special. This blueprint is pretty modular, so you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. Well, that won't work because I forgot something. So let's go back in our player controller and let's get collision. How are you called? You're not collision box. Also, are you just an actor reference? No, you're a select reference. So let's go back here and get into a select, and let's get our box. Get box. Get overlapping actors, and then this is, for example, really useful. So what you could do is you could have for example, a integer which you call ID. For example, if you have like a system that you want for only selecting specific things, you could use this, and you can switch on ID. What you could do with that is you could have like different item classes selected here and make like different output. I'm gonna just really quickly show how that would work. So if we, for example, have our A player in here, and we, for example, want to do something specific when we have selected 0, which would be a player. For now, let's just print string it out. But you can easily also, what is that? You could easily also say, let's move this a little bit down. You have a player. Let's first of all show that it works. Length. There you go. Let's plug this in. There you go. Now if we, and it doesn't work because something with the collision is wrong. I'm gonna check it out in a second. But give me 1 second. Oh yeah, I forgot to also to destroy the actor. So let me just destroy it afterwards. I should start planning those videos out a bit better, but nope, still nothing. So oh yeah, it's probably something with the A selector. So let me look into this. Look all. No. Do those cubes have no collisions, or what am I doing wrong? Let me very quickly bug fix and I will be right back. Okay, my mistake was pretty, well, pretty stupid because I wasn't paying attention. So what I had here was I checked if A is greater than B, but what I had B and A. So I checked if B is bigger and then I multiplied by -1, turning the number into a negative instead of a positive. So what happened is we pretty much made the number negative even though it should have been positive. And I fixed it now and the system works now perfectly fine. So for example, oops, you can check how many stuff is now in there. And what I did also, I added a little bit of a delay, but I think I can just take a way shorter delay, so 0.001, just so the print string is able to keep up and not error out. Yeah, this is pretty much a simple selection system. And what I meant with those different things here, for example, let's say we have a different kind of player. Let's say we have a player D, something like that, and we have that in between here. Let's make them a bit smaller so they're visually distinguishable. So we have 4 of those, and I need to set up the player to ignore collision, the camera to ignore collision, to collision test, no. And I also should move the player spawn because otherwise it's glitching out. There you go. And the player still mesh. Where are you? Set this to custom and world static and landscape. So now that should fix it. Yeah, now we can. No. Okay. Ignore world dynamic. Let's let everything off, just like, because we don't really need to step on objects. Okay, whatever. But if we now go ahead and select those, we still only get those 4. But if we, for example, say we had a different selection mode, which we could switch to by clicking mouse button 1 or mouse button 2, and then we can say on mouse button 2 we want to switch to selection mode 1, and on mouse button 1 we want to switch to selection mode 0. And what we can do is pretty much we can copy that over, but the type of actor we want to get is a player D. So now, for example, we can have a specific selection mode on when pressing 1, pressing 2. So pressing 2, so I only get those 2 here, and when pressing 1, I only get those 4. So this is a way how you could use it. This is pretty much just a module. Do whatever you want with it because it's a module. It's there for your imagination. One thing you can also do is pretty much just say you have those actor reference now, and you can do a for each loop and just, for example, for each loop and just cast to the object itself, cast to a player, and then you can do all sorts of code there, or you can add a blueprint interface and just call a blueprint interface function with a for each loop. So you have pretty much an interactable system. If anybody has questions or wants a follow-up on this, please let me know. But with this said, I hope you enjoy your day, and I hope nobody had a real issue with this tutorial. Otherwise, just let me know, and I'll either make a follow-up or explain what I did. With that said, good day, everybody.